Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe, All right, so this is the fabric we're going to be using to cut off our pencil skirt on. Okay, so I'm going to be folding this fabric into two. You can fold it into four if you decide, but for me, I'm going to be folding this fabric into two. Okay, so make sure you arrange your pattern paper on the fabric very nicely. All right, so guys, what we're going to be doing right now is that we are going to be adding our allowances, yes, our stitching allowances on the fabric. All right, so on the hem of this skirt, which is the down part, we are going to be adding 1 inch. By the side seam, we are also going to be adding 1 inch for our shaping and sewing allowance. On the top, which is the waistline, we are going to be adding ½ inch. All right, so we're going to be adding ½ inch. Right now I'm going to be going ahead to pin off this pattern paper on this fabric, to pin it very well so I can start adding my allowances on it. All right, so that's my tip, and that's me adding my 1 inch allowance by the side seam. All right, so I'm going ahead right now to pin this pattern paper on the fabric. Alright guys, so I've gone ahead to mark all my allowances on my fabric. I'm going to go ahead now to cut off the parts which I'll be needing, just as you can see me cutting it off like this. Right, so just make sure while you're adding your allowances, you're using your chalk to mark off the allowances very well and accurately, right? Alright guys, so this is me cutting it off right now. So guys, I'm going ahead now to cut the back pattern of this skirt. This is me folding the fabric again into two, trying to arrange it very well so it can come out very fine and very nicely. So you have to arrange it in such a way that you won't have excess, and the fabric also will not go to a waste. Alright, so I'm done here. I've placed my front pattern on the back pattern. I've added 1 inch for a zipper allowance. You can see the space by the side there where I'm touching right now. So I've added a 1 inch for a zipper allowance. So the placement is going to be the same. I'm just going to try to pin it again, to pin the back pattern down. Make sure my pin goes down. Hi guys, so we're not going to be adding any allowance to this. We're just going to go ahead to cut based on our placement. So just go ahead and just cut it off.
When you see me, carry me, put on top your shoulder, and you start to sing for me, and you say, baby, boy, Imana love me, Bugomo. You don't say I don't fit to go, boy. say I no feel do papa. Baby, oh lo lo do do do.
Alright guys, so we are done here. The next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using my scissors to open the zipper allowance. Yeah, so we're going to be open it off. Alright, so after that, going to be cutting lining on this fabric. I'm going to be using a lining. You can decide not to use lining, but for me I love using lining on my dresses. Alright guys, so I've gone ahead to cut off my lining on my fabric off camera. I didn't do anything special, just the same. The only thing I did was I folded my fabric on the hem by 1 inch, and then I cut the lining just 1 inch shorter than the actual fabric. That's just all I did off camera. I didn't do anything much. And then I also pinned it. Yeah, I pinned it very, very firmly. Alright. So right now I'm going to be going over to my sewing machine to sew my fabrics. All right, so I'm going to be doing that off camera. Alright guys, so for the turning of the lining and the fabric together, I'm going to be doing front facing front. Alright, so our front of our lining is going to be facing the front of our fabric, and I'm going to be sewing 1/2 inch by the waistline. Then I'm going to be sewing 1 inch, just exactly how the lining is on the hem of the skirt. All right, so the same thing I did for the back pattern, and for the front pattern is the same thing I'm going to be doing for our back pattern. Alright guys, so I've gone ahead to sew my lining and turned it off camera. Alright, so this is how it's looking right now. I've done for the back, center back, and also for the front. So this is what I've done. And I also held my dart off camera. I'm so sorry about that, guys. I really wanted to show us that part. So I've gone ahead to add my dart off camera. I hope you can see the dart looking very fine. So you just go ahead right now and iron the whole thing. Just go ahead and iron the whole thing, right? So when you're done ironing, you just hold your zipper allowance, and then you sew front facing front. Okay, you hold sew front facing front. And also I'm going to be sewing my zipper off camera. In fact, I'm going to be joining the whole thing off camera. All right. Alright guys, so I've gone ahead to do all my joining behind the camera. Oh my god. So this is how our skirt came out, so fine. Can you see this? Can you see how lovely this skirt is looking? Alright, so what thing you do is now that you go and iron the skirt properly. You iron open the seam. That's a zipper. Oh my god. See our zipper on fire. Alright, I also added a slit behind it, not too long, please. That's how I do. That's how I do my actually. You can decide to do it anyhow you like, but this is our skirt. Almost see this thing. See our skirt. Hey, God, I beg you. Alright, guys, so this is all. Thank you for following me. Please subscribe. Oh, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get update from us every and any time. Thank you for watching, guys. God bless you.